do you got?
20-minute membership.
What do you get?
So we started a membership program a few years ago, and what you get with this membership card is discounts at businesses that do work with us.
Take it away. We're going to hear a few words about co-ops.
So we didn't want to displace the earlier conversation. We see the cooperative model as a continuation of the problem of how do we generate support and either ongoing support or capital support from our readers, from our audience. And so I'm from the Hawaii Independent. My name is Ikaika Hussey, and we started 5 years ago, well, almost 5 years ago, and we've gone through a lot of the same conversations that I think that we've been talking about this morning. And something that's always been dear to my heart and kind of where I'm coming from is that Hawaii has a long journalistic tradition, and it's diminished in recent years, and I wanted to restart it again. And so one of the questions I've been trying to figure out is how do we build a community institution that's really that'll outlast my time there and that will continue to support and create journalism for our community. And one of the ways to do that in a market like ours where most of the media is owned by folks from outside of Hawaii is to build a community-owned company. And so we started as a traditional C corporation several years ago, and it was family and friends who put together money, and we were able to actually be pretty successful with that model with a very small business, and we hit profitability last year. But one thing that I'm very cognizant of is that in order for us to reach the next level, to level up, as Ben would say, we need to really grow. We need to be able to expand our editorial team. We need to be able to hire more salespeople to go out there and generate the ongoing advertising revenue that will keep us profitable. And so, sure, it's hawaiiindependent.net. And so one of the considerations is how do we get bigger? It's incredibly difficult to do that just from advertising sales, in order to generate enough profit every month to grow. So what I figured out is that we need to scale up pretty quickly. So we're launching a cooperative model in which we're actually selling. We're in the process of reincorporating as a co-op, and what that means in our case is that our readers will become the owners of the publication, and we're seeing this as a way to increase our capital base so that we can go on and hire more writers and increase our sales team. And it's pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory here on the page. I just wanted to introduce this as a way to approach sort of melding the nonprofit and the for-profit models. There's a lot of consternation, I think, when for-profits ask for money, especially if we're not giving something tangibly in return. So one thing that we've done is created this membership model where we actually do sell a subscription, and we're giving benefits at our local businesses. But it's also a way for us to take donations. It's basically, instead of giving $100 and expecting some sort of charitable return, you're actually going to get dividends from our company. So that's how we're approaching it. I also wanted to introduce Tom Stites, who you may have read in Neiman Lab and in a lot of publications covering innovations in journalism. Is developing a national approach to cooperative ownership for online journalism in the Banyan Project.
How's it working? How well are you doing with
Oh, it's actually going very well. We have a couple hundred paying owners.
And do you get owners who want to control editorial things?
No, the way that we manage our process is we have a board, and the members can select the board. They get to be part of that aspect of governance, but we don't have them in our newsroom every day telling us what to cover, what not to cover. Though we do make a point of proactively asking our community, what are the big issues? For instance, we're using Jay Rosen's citizens agenda approach. Jay's not in the room, but he's been talking on Press Think about about engaging your readers as a way of framing political coverage. And so we're covering our mayoral race. We have a huge multi-billion-dollar rail project that's taking place right now, which is framing a lot of local politics in Hawaii. And so in order to cover that, we're asking our readers, what are the issues, you know, in regards to rail or in regards to our senatorial race, et cetera, that you want us to examine? We're using that to figure out, okay, what stories to invest in, and also what questions to ask the candidates directly. So we're using every opportunity we can to talk to people. We're hosting a couple of candidate debates. We're hosting a forum where community members and artists get together to redesign the rail project. So every opportunity to get into the community and engage. Okay, this is Tom with the Banyan Project.
Thanks, Ikaika. My project, the Banyan Project, is devoted to designing and improving the validity, I hope, of a business model for community-level cooperative news organizations. And that is, we're in the process, having done a lot of planning, we are now in the process of doing a pilot news cooperative in Haverhill, Massachusetts, which is pretty far along but not yet ready to publish. The idea is that in communities that don't have enough economic oomph to create advertising revenue great enough to make a sustainable, reliable source of community journalism, that the yearning for that reliable journalism will be great enough to inspire people to come together to form a cooperative that will create the news that their community needs. In the experience in Haverhill, including survey research that we've done, suggests that this is a viable idea. So that the Banyan-related community cooperatives would be owned by a subset of their readers, the way that shoppers own food co-ops or depositors own credit unions. It's the same model. There are reader-owned newspapers in Italy, Switzerland, Germany, England, and Mexico that have been going for decades. And there's a very ambitious cooperative news organization in Canada that has web journalism sites in 4 major cities and publishes monthly on newsprint and distributes that nationally. So this forum, and Ikaika has now and his group have stepped up to be the first web journalism cooperative in the United States. I've heard from 17 communities who have read about the Banyan Project and Neiman Labs and other places that want to be next after Haverhill. There are, and some of them, not all of them, are existing sites that are marginally sustainable and are looking to become beyond marginally sustainable. If you guys are running LLCs and have the opportunity to actually create wealth for yourselves, this is a dumb idea. But if you're getting to the place that you're sort of bumping along, or if you really want to take it up another level, and you've gotten as much as you can out of the advertising you can, then it strikes me that the co-op model can work, because every year to keep on having a vote and being a part of the sense of ownership of a community institution, people will have to keep paying. And that creates a revenue stream that has not been tapped in the United States until right now in Hawaii. So anyway, that's what we're working on. If anybody's curious, actually, oh, ha! Did you do this? Thank you very much. Ikaika did it. The banyanproject.com is it has got a long is a wiki with lots and lots of stuff about this model. In terms of, I love all of the tactics that people have talked about building membership. This is membership that has greater depth. This is membership that has ownership. All cooperatives operate on the basis of one member, one vote. There are no investors. It's a community-owned community institution whose mission it is to fulfill the community's information needs. Simple as that. And it's owned by the community. So the tactics that everybody talked about are good, but basically it's like running a magazine. You go after owners, you renew them, you upsell them, you do all the things that a magazine publisher does to build circulation. Anyway, that's the top of it. I will put, incidentally, several people who were in other meetings now have said they wanted to be talking about co-ops and have suggested that we start an email list for anyone who's interested in that. And when I get home, I will put up I'll figure how to do one and put it up on the Facebook page for this gathering so that anybody who wants to join in that can do so.
People who invested originally and also new members. Everyone, though, gets one man. It's all one man.
And I really think it would be cool if the original folks came back. We're not trying to take over the meeting here. We just wanted to add to the conversation as opposed to supplant it. Because there may be lots more questions.
I haven't seen any files about this. Have you thought about creating a wiki for like the membership thing, like Tom has done for the Banyan project?
I haven't thought about that. Tell me a little bit more about what would be the advantages of that?
We could, then there, it's the same thing. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're like finding information and adding to it.
Maybe that's something Lion could do.
Oh, you mean sharing information about membership? Yeah, that's
The membership topic. Well, Lion should probably create a wiki.
And some of us have shared information on the publishers group and the block by block group.
There's also been discussions in several different publications. I think I've seen it on Neiman Lab. It was talking about ways to offer benefits to members above and beyond their getting an opportunity to participate. So, like Jeff Jarvis has been talking about offering discounts at local businesses. He was suggesting several years ago that the New York Times should create a tiered membership system and not do a paywall, but do a tiered system where at a certain dollar amount you get discounts and another dollar amount you get to go to the opera and you can see Broadway shows, etc. Things that are consonant with their